What's really remarkable is that when you explore the UNESCO World Heritage Site today, that was the ruling palace in 1766. It was at its peak. The fact that the City of Earth, as we build it, we've got 14 square kilometers where we're building this new Diriyah city. And the City of Earth is called the City of Earth because quite literally we're also using Adobe construct for the facades of the city, particularly in the first phase of the development. And so what that does is it connects us with our origins. It connects us with a very organic way to express how life used to be in Turaif hundreds of years ago. We're taking that as the reference point for this futuristic city. You're transported back in time, but you feel that its relevance. It's one where you step back and you say, well, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is really powerful. It's a really enriching experience. And then they explore the other parts of Diriyah because you've got incredible green space. We've got 2.6 square kilometers of natural wadi. There's a really fantastic thing which I think is exciting specifically about the Diriyah project, and that's what we're doing from a pedestrian perspective, but also just to deliver on public realm, which will be very, very rewarding. I mean, as you can see here in Bujeri Terrace, there's great restaurants, great cafes. We take the message from our UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think that what you see around you is what we sort of often describe as modest magnificence. I mean, you look at Turaif, you have a look at it when it's illuminated at night, it's just inspiring, it's awe-inspiring. I think that I'd like people to sort of take away the fact that this is really symbolic of what Saudi Arabia was and what Saudi Arabia will be.
Right now, we are in the visitor centre of the Turaif World Heritage Site in Diriyah. Turaif is the spiritual home, if you like, of Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of the nation. And the visitor centre here is the starting place of any journey into Turaif. We have on the wall here a display that starts to explain the history of Turaif and its story of how it came about and how it fell as well. And so this, if you like, is the kernel, the core of the story of a cultural landscape around here. Well, there's lots of ways to immerse yourself in Saudi Arabia's history. Turaif is one of 7 World Heritage Sites in the kingdom. And of course, the first way you can start to dive in, if you like, is digitally. The resources are out there which will introduce you when you're outside of the country. And then when you come here to Diriyah, we give you the opportunity to explore Turaif as a World Heritage Site, but also more widely as well. We have Bujeri next door, one of the 5 historic towns of this area, which is now a fine dining experience, but very much in the Najdi culture as well. The other thing we do is we have lots of activations. This isn't just an archaeological site. This is a place where we bring Saudi culture to life in different ways, through the hospitality, but also through horses, through song, through dance, and through live theatre as well. We bring this place back to life as if it was in the 18th century and you were a person who was visiting. I think the thing which really grabs me is about our perceptions of Saudi Arabia and what this tells us about them. Now, we all think of Saudi Arabia, perhaps when you're from outside of the country, as being a country historically of nomads, when the exact opposite is true. This place has been settled for hundreds of years. Mana al-Muradi, the ancestor of the whole family, came here first in 1446 and settled here, and there was already settlements here. So we know that this has been an area where people have lived on the banks of Wadi Hanifa, an oasis, for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And that's something which escapes many people, but one thing which will stick with them when they leave the country. Turaif is really at the centre of a much wider development, and what's critical is that the architecture of Turaif is being carried through into the neighbouring areas as well in the new development. Do you know what? It's not even a question of what I want them to feel. They will feel pride when they leave Turaif, whether they're Saudi or whether they're visiting. They'll be proud for this country, what it's achieved in the past and what it's going to achieve in the future, with Turaif at the centre of the wider development of the culture and heritage which will be spread out to the world. I want them to go out and tell those stories and tell the story to the wider world of here in Turaif and how welcome they are.